And welcome back to the Free Gems Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with your local guests. You know what I'm saying? We got G's here to your right, K Single down to your left. You know what I'm saying? A little tired, but it's never too early.
Yeah, never too early.
Never too early. You know what I mean? We outside right now
for the Free Gems, man.
It's a blessed day to, you know what I mean? Hop on camera and come fuck with y'all. So we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We here, man, on another Wednesday. We got to recap everything that's been going on, man.
Yes. I think it's only right to start off. We got to start off with Olympics. We got to
go Olympics.
We got to go Olympics.
Okay, I mean, while we in the Olympics, we got to talk about the fact that Kevin Durant went what was it, like 8 for 8?
Nah,
5 for 5.
Nah, Slim Reaper. He was Slim Reaping. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm still Kevin Durant K. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't fuck with KD.
Me neither. But you can't. He's undeniable. He's undeniable. You feel me?
Oh, for sure, he's undeniable. Top 3, top 5 scorer of all time. Undeniable. Depending on how you like your scorers, he gotta be him.
And that's the thing. It don't matter. The one thing you can say about KD, man, he loves the hoop. That's all he does. He
don't brush his hair.
I'm about to say
he don't shower.
Yo, bro, you see him working on.
I don't see him dating.
Bro, he don't got no kids. You feel me?
No kids.
He be in the club working on his.
He never had a girl. I've never seen him with a bitch. I've never seen him walking around with a bitch in my life.
Yo,
my son 37 or some shit like that. I've never seen him with a girl.
He in the club working on his jump shot.
I swear
all
to
day,
God. Bro. He's in. I remember that video service a couple weeks ago.
Ball is life.
Bro is in a club
working.
Literally,
KD
on some Kobe shit, working on
he's,
drills with no basketball in a Nike tech suit in the club. I said, this nigga.
And that's the thing, he's been hurt. That's why this was his first appearance. He didn't play in any of the prelim games. This was his first appearance, and he came out cooking.
Didn't skip a beat. Bro went 100% from the field. Nigga didn't miss a shot.
And it's funny because the people you think was carry the team, him and LeBron. Him and LeBron carried.
That's what's crazy though. He did all that 100% from the field shit, and LeBron still was the leading scorer on the team. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to 39-year-old LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Bron. He outside.
6 months away from being 40.
Yeah, man. LeBron.
But it's crazy. And speaking of USA basketball, did you see what's going on with Grant Hill, Jaylen Brown back and forth and everything?
What happened? They beefing?
So Grant Hill is I think he's the president of Team USA basketball, and he picks the team and everything.
Shout out to Grant Hill.
Yeah, legend. He's married to Tamia, who's very underrated, and I always had a crush on Tamia. Shout out to Tamia.
The singer? I'm so into you, Tamia.
Yeah,
that's fine. I didn't even know that. Shout out to Grant Hill, man.
Yeah. He been at, but
I never knew that.
Anyway, so
that's good, man.
Grant Hill picks the team. Jaylen Brown wasn't on there, even though he's the Finals MVP, and he has three teammates that's on Team USA.
Yeah.
And they asked Grant Hill in an interview. The reason was he said it has nothing to do with anything else but just personnel and matchups and everything. He also said that Jaylen Brown is he said he didn't want to get in. He's not into all the conspiracy theories, and Jaylen Brown replied to that. He was like, "Oh, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, whatever the case." And basically, when you do a deeper dive into why Jaylen Brown isn't on a team or Kyrie, Nike's the sponsor for Team USA. The whole fallout between Kyrie and Nike, and also Jaylen Brown came out in support of Kyrie when the thing was going down with Nike when he was dropped as a sponsor.
That's petty as fuck.
And not only that. He wore Kobe's and covered up the Nike logos.
Oh, nice beef.
And put it.
That's where you can't fuck around.
And put historical black figures on his shoes and covered up the Nike logos.
Jaylen Brown did that.
Oh
yeah, he listen. He set it off.
So
he set it off like with the teeth in him. Listen,
the
second you do that, Phil Knight and them niggas is not playing with you. Nike is not fucking around. You disrespect the brand, that's war. It is war. You did what? Nah, so I get it now.
So my personal opinion, between that and Jaylen Brown and Kyrie being the wild cards, as far as you don't know what they're gonna say at any times.
Yeah,
they can go in an interview and say "Free Palestine." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those is the type where you don't know they don't know what they're gonna say.
Bird for flag. Trump is black. Say anything.
Yeah, that's what as far as representing Team USA and what America's all about. I don't know if between the Nike ordeal with both of them and how they are as people, and are these people that we want Team USA representing? You know what I mean? Do they represent America? Probably not. So between those two things, I think is the reason why that they're not on Team USA. But it's crazy how Drew Holiday, Tatum, and Derek White are on
missing tooth.
are on Team USA, and the Finals MVP isn't. So, I think those are the two reasons combined. But Grant Hill said it had something to do with, it was just personnel. But we know the reason.
Yeah, we know the reason. Yo, you know what I didn't realize, yo? Why the fuck I just found out, yo, the women's USA basketball team ain't lose a game since like 96 or some shit. Literally. Yo, bro, when I heard that shit, I said, why is that not talked about some more?
I just seen them put Japan in the wood.
Yo, dog. Yo, word to my mother. Put them in the back.
Yo, but honest, but the thing is,
shit. But had a session in the court.
But nobody on Team Japan had anybody over 6'1". Like, but I'll actually watch the whole game.
That's pretty racist. That's stereotypical as fuck.
I actually watched the whole game, and it was like a 10-point game at halftime, and Japan couldn't have played any better. You feel me? They was hitting all their threes, like they couldn't play any better. And it's just the women's teams, they OD.
They haven't lost a game in almost 30 years, dog.
Yeah, literally. They got
what type of shit is that?
They got Brittany Griner and Sabrina Ionescu coming off the bench.
I ain't gonna lie. Once you got 6'10", Brittany, how tall is Brittany Griner?
Like 6'8"
or some shit like that.
Yeah, 6'8", 6'9".
Come on, son, you got it. Like,
and then you got Sabrina coming off the bench.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Brittany Griner too. She back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out Brittany. Shout out BG and all that. But I'm not that women's team, man. I'm not like
that shit disrespectful.
They're OD. And
I want to see the women's team play the men's team just for shits and giggles.
You don't want to see that.
I know.
You don't want to see that.
Come on, like NATO.
No, but skill wise, I mean, I like to see them do like a skill competition.
Let's say no dunking.
I'd like to see them do a skills competition.
Nah, I want to see them play.
Wow, there's no need for it.
Yeah, nah, you're right.
There's no need. You feel me? Yeah, there's no need for that.
But I would want to see some. I want to see it with no dunking. Let's say they can't dunk, and I don't know, set up some kind of rules so it can kind of be a little bit even. Just no dunking. How about that? No dunking. Let's figure some shit out.
They don't have the athleticism, speed, or length or size.
Yeah, you're right. Size. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like Asia Wilson is the greatest player in the WNBA. She's a big man. She's a big man, and she's 6'6", 6'7". You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Drew Holiday.
That's what I'm saying. That's a wing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, that's
right.
Jason Tatum size.
Yeah.
Like
Tatum's like 6'8", 6'9".
Okay, well that's
right.
I'm talking about like
your point exactly.
If they put them next to each other, they're about the same size. You feel me? Yeah. Give an inch or two. So you know what I mean? But
you're right.
Shout out to Team USA women's basketball. Shout out to Team USA men's basketball.
Shout out to Team USA. Y'all better bring back the gold, man. Well, women's, we already know y'all locked in.
Yeah,
men's team, Braun. Don't let us down.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
But while we speaking on Team USA, let's talk about this election that's coming on, bro. Because I don't know what the fuck's happening. All I know is I go on Instagram, I see Kamala Harris. She got Meg Thee Stallion up with a crop top suit on, shaking ass. I'm lost as to what the fuck this guy do with presidency. Motherfuckers explaining to me Kamala Harris not even black. Apparently she white and Indian. I don't know how that's possible with the last name Harris. I'm confused as fuck. Somebody help me understand what's really going on. Half the world saying let's go Trump. They got literally Chief Keef is on Twitter saying let's go Trump.
Well, Chief Keef been saying that.
That's a fact.
Anything new.
Chief Keef's on Twitter saying let's go Trump.
Chief Keef been saying that.
Lil Pump saying we can't jack Kamala Harris. She's trying to fucking kill us all and put us all in jail. I don't know what's going on. I need help. I need some clarity. So, come on, please.
So,
what the fuck's happening.
I already knew it was gonna be it had to be a clown show. I already knew it was gonna be
once I seen Meg up there shaking that, I said this.
I already knew it was gonna be a lot of antics going on.
Bro, she's quoting Quavo on the podium.
Yeah, and Quavo was there.
Why the fuck is she doing that? We don't care about Quavo's quotes.
And my thing is she doing stuff that she doesn't even have to do.
That's what I'm saying. Go get Dr. Umar. Don't get Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo. I'm sorry. Go get somebody like, come on, son.
And
read the room.
You know, and she said she was talking crazy.
Of course.
She was saying how Trump is scared to debate her and everything.
Yeah.
I told you, remember last time I said I don't think Trump wants that.
Trump might be the only person that might be able to put fear into Trump is a black woman when it comes to that debate, though.
But no,
everybody else he debated with, he was on some outlandish shit. He was saying crazy shit.
Now,
I think Kamala can handle some shit.
I think that Trump. Speaking of the debate, let's talk about the debates real quick. Before Trump. well, after Trump, post-Trump, now the moderator can cut off each candidate's mic. Before that, you didn't need that. You know why? Because people were civil. They didn't talk over people.
Right.
But you got Trump now. You got the buffoonery. Now you have to have the moderator actually come and moderate. Before, it was about respect, but he doesn't have any respect for anybody. Yeah. Number two, I think Sleepy Joe's an easy target for him, regardless. You know what I mean? And regardless of him going up against Joe Biden, he wasn't scared of Joe Biden because obviously, look at that over there. Like, anybody can go up there and debate Joe Biden right now. But when it's somebody like Kamala Harris, somebody who used to be an attorney, somebody who's well educated, I don't think he really wants that.
Yeah, nah.
And you brought up something that I wanted to discuss. And I didn't even think I was going to touch on it today. They're talking about Kamala Harris isn't black, and let me just say this: there's been a pocket of Black Americans, FBAs, whatever they want to call themselves, that want to gatekeep blackness. I have a huge problem with that.
Okay, talk about
They
it.
want to gatekeep blackness. They want to say that nobody is black outside of foundational Black Americans.
Right. That's what FBA is. People who don't know.
Yeah. And anybody else is not black if your roots aren't from here, which does not make any sense. So, because let me take you back.
Yeah, break it down for us, please.
Let me take you back.
History lesson.
Before the transatlantic slave trade, there was no such thing as black. There was no such thing as white. Europeans, right? Let's talk about it. You had the English who hated the Irish. You had everyone who hated the Germans. There were wars going on in Europe.
Right.
There was tribes going on in Africa.
Right.
The only time that whiteness or blackness was invented was because of white supremacy. There was no such thing as white supremacy before.
You're right.
The transatlantic slave trade, right?
No, you're right.
It was to section off different types of people, and it was to uplift whiteness and downgrade blackness. And we've talked about this before, how white and black is a social construct, and how the Irish, Italians, and Jews were accepted into whiteness. That's how much of a social construct it was. It was at one point, okay, you guys are considered white now. So white and black was no such thing before the transatlantic slave trade. And so when you take that in consideration, anybody who is a descendant of a slave is black by definition.
Right.
Because they were discriminated against. When a white person sees a black person walk in a room, they ain't worried about their background. Right. They ain't worried about, are you from America? Yeah, are you from Jamaica? Right. Are you from Britain? No. Are you from Germany? Yeah. No, you a nigga. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
Blackness is the opposite of whiteness when it comes to white supremacy. So they don't look at you any different. Those are the definitions that they gave us. So you can't, in turn, take the definition and try to gatekeep it from everybody else. You trying to tell me that Kylian Mbappe, you know who Mbappe is?
Yeah, of course.
You trying to tell me Kylian Mbappe ain't black because he's French?
Right.
And what are we doing? Are we talking about, is it just USA? So what about Canadians? What about RJ Barrett? What about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? They not black because they not from America? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? What about Rudy Gobert?
Really good point.
What about Rudy Gobert?
That's a really good point.
I am not with the whole tribalism. They trying to. I'm not with none of that. Kamala Harris is black, if you ask me. I don't care where you're from. If you have black skin, you are black. It doesn't matter what it is. And Michael Blackson said he didn't realize how black he was till he came to America. That doesn't mean he wasn't black in Africa. Right. Think about it. When everybody looks like you, you don't know until you go outside of that. Just like if you go to any Asian country, right? Let's say you go to Japan. Let's say you go to China. When you're in China, you don't think of yourself as Asian because everybody's Asian.
Right.
It's once you go outside of the worldly view, you go outside of there, you move to America. Now you are Asian. You know what I mean? Now you're part of the Asian diaspora.
No, yeah, 100%.
And they want to talk about. Let me give you another example. They also want to say that only when it comes to culture, that only black culture is black American culture. I disagree. I think all African culture is black culture. The opposite of that. Let's say St. Patty's Day, right?
Okay.
Irish. Whether it's the 4-leaf clover, whether it's drinking Guinness, whether it's corned beef hash, all of that is Irish culture, but it's also white culture. Let's talk about kilts in Scotland. Right. That's also part of white culture. It's a subsidiary of white culture. It's Scottish culture, just like reggae. Reggae is Jamaican culture, but it's a subsidiary of black culture, if you ask me. Right, you know what I mean? Yeah, so just because you're not man, we think we're the centers of the world. We want to be the centers of the universe, and we're trying to say no, they're not black. They're Jamaican. Right. They're not black. They're from Trinidad and Tobago. They're not black. They're from Nigeria. And they're trying to do this tribalism type of thing, and I'm not here for it. So
you was just going off. I didn't even want to interrupt you.
Nah, I'm just not here for it, man.
Nah, it makes a lot of sense though, because you're right. I do see it, and it's kind of weird.
They're making a lot of noise. I'm like, yo, bro, y'all gotta relax, because at the end of the day, everybody, all the subsidiaries you just named, we're all dealing with the same problems from the same people. But you want to tribalize it and say, no, you guys are not black because your roots are not from, you're second generation American and you're not black. And no. Right. When you walk in a room, a white person sees a nigga. It doesn't matter. They don't care about your background or where you're from. They created blackness as an opposite to whiteness to boost themselves up, so they don't give a damn about your background, where you're from. No, right. They're not worried about, excuse me, sir. Oh, you're Nigerian? Oh, you're not black? No, you a nigga.
So I see what you're saying. So in turn, don't try to use that against your own people.
Yeah, nah, bro. I have a really big problem with this movement here, and it's very unfortunate.
So all in all, because I mean, we're 3 months away from the election. I'm just wondering, do you think Kamala has a shot?
I think,
and if not, then what if Trump really wins, dog?
I think
while on trial for some shit, he was actually already found guilty.
Yeah, he was already found of like 34 counts. 34 counts, convicted felon. I think she has a really good shot. I think she has a better shot than Biden has. I think that I think there's a difference between. Because if you look at Trump's whole thing is shock value and shock factor.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
That's how you get it.
I think that because he uses that shock value and shock factor, that people think, wow, there's no way no one else can beat that. When in reality, he's the only president in U.S. history to lose the popular vote twice in a row. He lost the popular vote twice already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I think she has a really good chance of winning, honestly.
I just look at it like this. When Trump won the first time, I feel like he was extremely unpopular especially amongst minorities. People was like, hell no, and he still somehow won, right? And at that time, a lot more people were in support of Biden. A lot more people didn't realize, Biden's on his last leg of being consciously here. And now
when you talking about against
Hillary.
Okay,
pardon me.
No problem. You good.
Take that back. Okay, versus Hillary. A lot more people. So what I'm saying is now he has a lot more supporters, especially amongst minorities. And I can only imagine the white people who didn't like him so much. Some of them have been transferred over to the we love him now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, some people have gone to the other side where we hate him too. But I say all that to say, Biden has lost a lot of support. I mean, obviously he dropped out now. Now you got Kamala, and it's like, bro, it's like a wild card they just threw in there. I feel like out of nowhere with 3 months left, and I'm like, Trump has way more supporters now than he did before. It's a lot of minorities looking at Trump like, hey, fuck it, this is about as best as we gonna get from what we seen. So we just gonna go with Trump. That's why I think it's gonna be a landslide. I
don't see that.
But I mean, I don't know. And part of me wants to be like, I hope not. But I really don't even know what's the best. I don't even know what's the most beneficial side to take right now. I don't know where this shit's gonna go.
So,
but I know Megan Thee Stallion is not the answer. Take her off the fucking rally. I will say, is Amber Rose the answer?
See, listen. So you got to talk about both sides.
I don't even want to bother Trump because whatever he's doing, he freestyling. So
he always freestyling.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kamala like a serious candidate. Like, all right, let's see what's gonna happen. And then she brings out fucking Quavo and Megan Thee Stallion, and then I'm like, yo, you're losing me, gang. You're fucking losing me.
I don't want to forget my point. So, but you got to realize there are a lot of old school conservatives who've never been a fan of Trump,
right,
and think that he's overthrown the Republican Party and making a mockery of it. You got to realize there's a big sector there, and like I was saying in the last episode, Kamala Harris is more centrist than she is left wing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel like that her being there might sway some of those voters over to the other side just because of where she stands in a lot of things. You know what I mean? As far as,
For sure.
you know, so there is a big sector of that where a lot of Mike Pence said he's not backing Trump.
Yeah, so I think it's just like a lesser of two evils situation again.
It's always a lesser of two evils.
Yeah, it's a lesser of two evils.
It's always a lesser of two evils, but we'll see. But yeah, no, that the whole black thing and gatekeeping blackness is it's really.
I low-key got a crush on Kamala, so like she got my vote.
She's
the first president I wanted to fuck, so I'm like, she got my vote. I guess that's where I'm at with it.
Yo, she is.
I ain't too political, but like, hey, listen, I want to know what Kamala looked like 40 years ago. Goddamn.
You can pull that up.
Now she's 59. All right, let me see what she looked like 35 years ago.
you can pull that up.
I'm sure I could, but it's not gonna be the HD kind of pic. Like, is
you want
OnlyFans account associated? Because I need to see all of that.
Yeah,
like, Kamala, like, she was fire as fuck.
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it in 1080p. For me.
Yeah, right. Not even.
I mean, 480p.
You be lucky to get
or 420.
Not listen.
No,
whatever the fuck it was.
No, it's 240. 240.
Y'all be thinking about that shit. Remember when iPhone? Remember when camera phone? No, a phone you had to buy a camera. That was like a fucking Glock switch that you had to put on the phone to make it into. I'm like, this shit crazy. Like, it's crazy where we at right now. But that's neither here nor there. That's random.
We brought up Olympics. Yo, can we talk about Snoop Dogg real quick, bro?
Oh, how he's probably
amazing.
like more American than baseball and Franks at this point. Like,
bro, we gotta realize Snoop Dogg beat a murder case,
bro.
Snoop Dogg was on trial for a murder, and now he
is a rolling 20s gangster crip from Long Beach, California,
and now he's literally like, you want to talk about endorsement deals? You want to talk about being able to switch over and everything? Like he really out here. Like hosting the Olympics, all these he is literally on side missions in life. Like he is literally
he's out here doing side quests for sure.
Oh, he's collecting
all the badges.
Listen, he completed
achievements.
He completed his main story, and now he's on side missions for the rest of his life, doing whatever he wants to do.
Whatever he fucking wants, bro. And it's amazing though to see like how you can transition from being looked at as like literally America's worst nightmare. A 19-year-old kid from the hood with braids, smoking weed, telling you fuck the police and your parents and let's go outside and party and bullshit and drink gin and juice underage. And now, 30 years later, you're literally an American icon. He's like fucking Frank Sinatra to us. Like, he's like, how the fuck? Like, he's American as American. He's Marilyn Monroe, dog.
No, he really is.
He's an American icon. When you see him, you think, oh, that's the guy from America. Like, I'm sure that's how they think overseas. Like, when they see him, that's that American guy. He the tall guy. He music.
Everybody knows.
They don't even know what the fuck he probably do.
I'm about to say a lot of people probably don't even know him from music.
Hell no.
They just know him because he's Snoop.
Right. That's what I'm saying. By now, the generation of kids overseas that are in their 20s and teenage, they don't fucking know Snoop from music. They just know him as the tall American black guy that
that smokes weed.
When I see him, I know America. Like, I know he's from America. That's what I do know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's insane because I mean it's a beautiful thing though. Because he's been such a positive force. We haven't had nothing negative come out from Snoop Dogg's camp or anything from his side in a long time.
Yeah, in a while.
Like early 2000. And for that, I got to give him credit, bro. Because it's one thing to talk the talk. It's another thing to walk the walk. You know, you can say, oh, I'm a reformed gangster. Yeah, I represent this. But this is what I'm doing now. And the last 20 years, he's shown us nothing but solid, like being a solid. He's been showing us being a husband, being a father, being a businessman.
Cooking shows.
Right, being a businessman. All like, you know what I'm saying? He put all his kids going through college. They had a successful way, even though they might not be the most like standard what you think a family should be, you know, because he's still Snoop Dogg at the end of the day. You know, he's still a successful multi-hundred-millionaire rapper. You know, so he had a crazy lifestyle, but it's beautiful to see that now in his 50s he can stand up and hold the flag and perform at the Super Bowl.
Listen, you know, he's cripping in Corona commercials.
Yo, bro.
Corona
I never
commercials
seen
on the
no
beach.
shit like
Like,
this,
yo, what is going on?
Blue flag in a Corona commercial at the Super Bowl. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
He's really different. I would say as far as not the same background, but the athletic equivalent would be Shaq as far as
for sure. Yeah. Same person. Yeah. Him and Shaq, same person. In a sense, right.
And just going
But
on.
even then, like, Shaq was never looked at as such a bad guy.
Oh, I know.
Snoop was look as a murderer.
I'm not comparing their background. I'm talking about as far as
you
being
did say
commercial.
That was the first thing you said.
You know
but
what I mean?
It's just insane, bro. And I love it, though. I love it. Because it's a hell of a story. And I can't wait for that Snoop Dogg documentary to come out.
I can't wait.
Snoop, please don't go to... Please, I swear to God, if they turn Snoop into a Diddy, Bill Cosby type of situation, I'm going to lose it. Please, no more. Okay? Because if they take LeBron from the... I don't know what I'm going to do, bro.
Nah, we all right.
We got to keep LeBron, Snoop. Y'all got to stay on this side, please, yo. Like, we can't afford another one of these fucking surviving documentaries. We can't. I can't do this. They're killing all of our fucking, like, all of our heroes. You know, the Jay-Z shit, bro, the whispers is here, bro. The surviving Jay-Z documentary is on the way, gang. It's on the way.
Loading up.
I'm just saying, it's creepy. I'm scared.
So
I'm really nervous.
It would be wrong for me to talk about the Olympics and not talk about the greatness of Simone Biles.
Oh.
I don't know. Are you really up on Simone Biles like that? Or not
Listen. All I know is she's the hottest shit since Michael Phelps as far as the Olympics, and she's breaking everything. No,
she is like, there are people who are GOATs, but like she's stamped. Like, so you got to, all right, so how gymnastics is scored? It's scored on difficulty level and execution, right? And it's combined score. She does tricks, and her difficulty score is so high that only men can do stuff. She's doing stuff only men can do.
Right.
And landing it. Like it's like what she's doing is different, like nobody's ever seen before.
Right.
Like she is like literally like goated stamp. Like a lot of the Olympians like this Chinese girl competing against her, like, I don't need to take a picture of Simone. Like she's on commercial status, GOAT certified, stamped, and it's literally amazing. Especially they just won the all-around gold last night. And and shout out to her, because especially going, the trials that she had to go through with the Tokyo Olympics and everything. I don't know if you know what's going on during the Tokyo Olympics. She had to bow out of the competition. It's something, I forgot the actual term for it, but gymnasts, you have to have an equilibrium, and she didn't know where she was, and that's dangerous. You know what I mean? When you're doing all them flips. But for her to come back like this and stamp herself as like she's the Michael Phelps.
Yeah,
she's
how old is she?
27.
Okay, yeah.
And that's old to be doing in the gymnast, because listen.
I've been hearing about her for a very long time now. Now that I think about it, because she was popping when she was like 16. Like, she been popping.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing. That's there's normally a fresh 15, 16, 17-year-old. Yeah. Once you're 20, that's a dinosaur when it comes to gymnasts. Yeah, I can imagine. That's like a running back. You feel me? Like that's like being 30 and running back.
The wear and tear they put on their body. Yeah,
and the flips and they don't bend like they used to.
She might be. Yeah, that shit is still a lot of wear and tear.
But yeah, she's stamped. She's the Michael Phelps. She's the Katie Ledecky.
How many gold medals does she have?
Like 6, 7.
Fire.
6, 7. I think she just broke the U.S. record for the most medals for a gymnast last night. Wow. And I think they're still competing.
Shout out to Simone Biles.
Yeah, shout out to Simone Biles.
And I'm glad she made it through that mental situation, because I know she had took a break because of mental health.
That's what I'm saying. It's important, and it shows that people are human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What we like to do, we like to pedestalize our athletes and think
like, man, just dribble, just play, just
think that they're superhumans, like they don't go through emotions and things don't happen. You know what I mean? So for her to bounce back in this way, shout out to her. Yeah. And speaking of Olympics, I know that the gymnasts are happy that the Russians aren't competing, because they're normally one of the best when it comes to gymnasts. And
I didn't know the Russians weren't competing. Wow, they got some shit. Oh,
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Shit lit out there right now.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? The Russians aren't competing because of what's going on in Ukraine, right? And if you look at South Africa wasn't able to compete in the Olympics for like 20 or so years because of apartheid. The ICJ, the International Court of Justice, just called Israel an apartheid state. That they're doing war crimes. They just proved it. But they're still out here competing in the Olympics. Think about that.
I mean, listen.
that
shit is way beyond me.
Think about that. So South Africa couldn't compete for like 20 years. Russia's not competing this year, but they got Israel out there competing. It's just. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It just goes to show it's crazy.
Just shining a light on what's going on.
I'm just shining a light on what's going on. But no, it's just very unfortunate.
Well, while we're talking about a little bit of politics and global news, I really want to get into Venezuela and exactly what's going on because I've been seeing it going crazy, and I know that you're way more well educated on what's going on than I am. All I know is that Venezuela is going through hell right now, and I need to know exactly what's going on. So, Cinco, please take the floor. Let me know exactly what's going on.
Venezuela. So, what's going on in Venezuela? The Venezuela's socialist leader just got reelected.
Right. What's his name again? Oh, fuck, I forget his name.
Maduro.
Right. That's how I would remember his name.
So he just got
a plantain.
He just got reelected, and you know, a lot of the foreign nations are, you know, a lot of the people, Americans are up in arms saying that the election was stolen, it was rigged,
for sure,
everything, and
he been running that shit like a dictatorship over there.
Yes, but you gotta peel back the layers,
right?
You know, a lot of people looking at it on the surface, but a lot of people don't actually research. A lot of people don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah, that's me.
But so what's going on in Venezuela? Venezuela is, you know, they have very high inflation rates. It's really hard to live out there, and as we know, we doing some traveling in South America, and we see a lot of people in Venezuela,
DR, Peru,
everywhere,
Colombia, in Brazil. Everybody is out of Venezuela, and they're in these countries looking for refuge. They're just getting the fuck out of there.
Yes, but like I said, with service level, let's dig deeper. So America has been trying to get the oil out of Venezuela since 2000.
Right.
And there was a failed coup attempt by the U.S. in 2002. There was another failed coup attempt in 2019.
Coup attempt.
Coup d'etat. Like
you
overthrow.
Used that word 2 episodes ago, and I thought it was made up. Found out you wasn't
overthrow
lying.
of the government. So
coup d'etat.
So the U.S. backed candidate just lost.
Okay.
The U.S. backed candidate just lost, and people up in arms, but the U.S. has put a blockade, an illegal embargo on Venezuela that's been ongoing, so they cannot enter international markets. When you're a country, you depend on trade.
Right.
So you know what that does? Inflation. Inflation. Automatically. Automatically inflation. Turmoil.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sitting here saying that the current administration is doing the best that they can. I'm not saying that they're not contributing to the 40,000 Venezuelans that have died because of lack of medical assistance, lack of medical care and treatments and everything. But what we're not taking into consideration is the illegal embargo that the U.S. has had over Venezuela that contributed to all this stuff.
Right, we starving them.
That contributed to all this stuff. So, and you got to look at the countries that have that were against the results of this election and the countries that have been for the results of this election. The countries that have been against the results of this election, Uruguay, Peru, Panama, DR, Costa Rica. Did I say Panama already?
Yeah, you said Panama.
Okay. Well, all these countries already have U.S. puppets in office. Wow. All these countries the leaders of these countries got in office because of U.S. help. Look at the countries that were for the result of this election. You got Bolivia, who just survived the coup attempt. We just talked about Bolivia survived the coup attempt from the U.S. Bolivia, Mexico, where they got a new president who's against who just beat the U.S. candidate in Mexico.
I remember that.
Recently.
Wasn't it a woman?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that.
So you got Bolivia, you got Mexico, and then you got Cuba, whose current leader is going against the U.S.
Good old Cuba.
And so and illegal embargo. Cuba right now has a legal embargo against them.
Okay.
They've been had an illegal embargo against them off the U.S. Guess what? Cuba has 100% literacy rate. Cuba has the best doctors in the world.
Literally.
Cuba has a lower infant mortality rate than us. So Cuba, I'm just going to take Cuba as an example. Right now, they are restricted in the type of overseas help that they can get because of U.S. Right. But they still outdoing the U.S. in a lot of these things. We can't have these countries going independent. We cannot do that. That's bad. That looks bad for us. We have to keep the hegemony going. And the stronghold we have, that's imperialism. Damn. So I'm not necessarily saying the current administration in Venezuela is what's best for Venezuelans, but people looking at the surface. Dig deeper. The deeper you dig, the more red, white, and blue with 50 stars and stripes and 50 stars and 13 stripes you'll see. We have a hand in everything, in everything. Let me give you. Let me break it down in another way. So let's say we're talking about planting, right?
Right.
And growing plants. There's different ways you can grow plants. We're gonna talk about soil and hydroponics. Let's say we're the U.S. and we do soil. Right. We want everybody in the world to do soil. Because it's good for corporate interests. We sell you guys the soil. Right? Yeah. Or you have resources or seeds that we want, and we want to get them at the price that we want to back our corporate interest. Yeah. Right? But as a sovereign nation, I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want to do soil. We voted me in office, and everybody in this country, the majority of people in this country, want to do hydroponics. So we're going to do hydroponics. Okay. But for people that don't know, hydroponics, pH level is a big thing when it comes to hydroponics. Okay. So what do you need to balance your pH level? You need a base, which is pH up, and you need a solution that's acidic, which is pH down. So let's say you're working with a plant, your pH level is a little low, you're going to add a base to even it out, right? So you need a base and you need something acidic in order to make sure the pH level is balanced. So America's like, well, you know what? Since you're not using soil, we're going to block you from getting the resources and nutrients that you need in order to
get the hydroponic to grow.
So now people looking at the outside is like, wow, hydroponics really doesn't work. Hydroponics really doesn't work. You can't grow anything with hydroponics. Look at Venezuela. Yeah. Look at Venezuela. Look at Cuba.
That was deep.
Look, you can't grow anything with hydroponics. Look at it. Yeah. But not realizing they can't get the supplies necessary in order for a functioning society in order to function properly.
That was a hell of an analogy. Listen,
you gotta realize.
Don't say you ain't never learned no shit over here. Okay? He just put you on some shit. Okay.
But seriously, you have to.
Right. I get it.
You cannot listen. People. And I don't blame people. They're looking at it from a surface level.
Right.
From a surface level, not realizing that we are involved deeper in all of this.
Than you would even know.
Deeper than you even know.
What a lot of people don't know, too, for people who don't know, Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken, is the second largest producer of petroleum or oil. Yeah. Pretty much oil, okay? Besides the Middle East, it's Venezuela's number 2. I think number 3 is like Alaska or Texas or some shit. Yeah, but just put it like this. Venezuela is so locked in when it comes to oil. There's a pipeline that goes from America to Venezuela under the ocean, literally to directly feed us this oil. But I say all that to say, and it's crazy because oil equals money. But Venezuela, apparently all the Venezuelans, they ain't got no money. Their economy is shit. And it's like a lot of people been saying that their government just takes all the funds for themselves and leaves the people to shit. Because I was watching a documentary out there, and like, for example, like, you can't just, like in America, you get up, you go to the grocery store, you go grocery shopping, you buy what you need, you get your toiletry, your toilet paper, you go get a year's worth of toilet paper at one time. In Venezuela, they literally get a list of what they can buy at the grocery store, depending on the size of their family, depending on, it's crazy because you go to the store and you think, oh, I'm going to just grab whatever I want. No. You got a family of 4, bet. You only get a quarter gallon of milk instead of the whole gallon, and you only get 2 rolls of toilet paper, and you only get, it's fucking insane to think that it's regulated what you can actually buy. It's like, bro, even if you wanted to, you got it. It's like they're telling you got to struggle because this is what we got, and it's like you said, the inflation goes up so crazy because of that. It's so ill, bro. In Venezuela, I'm not sure if it's all the time, but the documentary I was watching, go on Vice and watch a Venezuela documentary on Vice TV, and bro, they literally had a point where their giving the gasoline away for free, because if they try to charge money for it, nobody got money, number one. Number two, people just start rioting and they try to fucking overthrow the gas stations or they'll bomb it. And it's just like, yo, it's insane to think that it's so bad out there they had to give away the gas. They're like, yo, nobody even got the money to buy this shit. Just pull up to the gas station, pump your car and get the fuck out of here. Because it's like, that's the only solution they got. It's either that or we going to war all day over simple things like gasoline. We're over here, we're like, fuck it, yeah, we'll pay $4.99 a gallon. It don't matter. Like over there, it's literally life or death. Like if I don't get this gas, well, guess what? We coming back to fuck this shit up.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. You're talking about rationing, terrible. But rationing happens when you have inadequate supply.
Yeah, you're getting limited.
That's what I'm saying.
And we look at it like oh, they're savages over there. But it's like, hey, do you know America isn't allowing all that stuff to get over there?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying that their current administration is what they need. I'm not saying their current administration isn't adding fuel to the already decimated economy, but you cannot overlook what we've done. And it's literally the same game plan we used everywhere. If you're against the corporate interests of America, they'll kill you. I.e., Patrice Lumumba in the Congo, i.e. Gaddafi in Libya. Yeah. Or, okay, we'll put a legal embargo on you, i.e. Cuba, i.e. Venezuela, i.e. we've overthrown so many governments.
That's what we do. Yeah, it's kind of our thing. It's our thing.
All the government interference that we've been doing around the world, Nicaragua, Cuba, Jamaica, DR, Venezuela. This is just in South America. Costa Rica, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Paraguay. You're everywhere. This is just in South America I'm naming. So, listen, like I said, I'm not saying that. Oh, and let me go back to your gas example. Guess what? You know why we can get it so cheap?
Why?
Because we steal it.
Damn.
In order for the imperialistic system that we use now, there's only two ways it can go. We either have to steal it, or the reason why we live in the system that we live in is either from theft or from slavery.
Damn.
That's the reason why you extract resources as cheap as you possibly can in Africa. You never allow them to set up their own infrastructure in order to thrive off of the resources. You get it extract as cheaply as possible. Go over to Asia, manufacture, and ship it to the U.S. Damn. It's been the same thing forever.
Same recipe since day one.
It's been the same recipe since day one.
Well, let's all right. We gotta shift over. Cause I know we nearing towards the end, and I realize there's a lot of things we still didn't get to talk about. We've been talking about politics the whole time. We ain't even get to talk about like some of the biggest stories that's been going on around the way. Like, bro, we still didn't even mention the fact that Julio Foolio's murder has been caught.
Oh shit.
Like that whole story is insane. Yeah, Please tell me you looked into everything that's been going on.
Yeah. So
listen, there's been 4 out of 5 suspects arrested in the Julio Foolio murder.
Yes.
And if y'all don't know who Julio Foolio is, he is a slain rapper from Jacksonville, Florida that was murdered in Tampa, Florida, just 3-4 weeks ago, right around his birthday. And so apparently the Jacksonville police have found all the suspects they needed. They arrested one man. His name was Sean, I think Gathright. He was the first one arrested. He's like 20 years old. He got pulled over. They got found with a gun, some bullets, and all that. And just know that within 24 hours, 4 more arrest warrants went out, and that's fucking weird because usually that leads to somebody must have said something. Because for one person to get arrested, and all of a sudden there's 4 more going to get arrested the next day. Usually that's kind of how that goes. Because it was just a regular traffic stop. He got stopped for speeding, and then all of a sudden everybody else going to jail. But that's neither here nor there. The story goes, so it was 4 men and 1 woman. 2 of the men. Okay, let me put the storyline. So there's Sean, then there's Isaiah Chance, and his girlfriend Alicia Andrews. These are the 3. Yes. These are the 3 younger suspects, and they're all about 21, right? And so apparently, the girl, she was in that Airbnb, and all through the mix during the whole Julio Foolio day. If everybody knows the story, Julio Foolio was on Instagram Live, dropping locations, telling people, yo, we're throwing a pool. It was his birthday. Throwing a pool party. Yo, we going to the after hour spot. Yo, we going to the club here. Yo, we going there. The whole time, police go into her records and realize she was dropping pins. She was dropping locations to who? Her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, which is one of the 4 men arrested. Well, one of the 4 men is being sought after as a suspect. So, not only that, then they tied in what's going on. One of the people that Julio Foolio has been consistently dissing is a kid that died. He was a 17-year-old. He died a couple years back. I believe it was like 2021. He had died, and he was part of the opposite gang to Julio Foolio. And he got murdered at a football game where 2 other kids were shot. And of course, Julio Foolio, in true Julio Foolio fashion, disses him the whole time while he's dead and makes fun of the kid. I forget his name. Rest in peace to him. But now there's 2 grown-ass men out of the 5 suspects. Both of their last names are Murphy. One's 27, the other one's 29, if I'm not mistaken. Significantly older than the other 21-year-olds. But apparently, they are the uncle and the cousin to the child, to the 17-year-old that was killed at the football game.
Yeah.
Okay. So it all ties into, come to find out, Isaiah Chance, the boyfriend of the girl who was there that was sending locations, that was using her to get his location, he is also affiliated with ATK, which is Young and Ace's group.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
This shit is turning into a fucking guess who, and this shit is turning into a movie. Apparently, so there's 2 gangs, 1200 Block, which is apparently the uncles of the kid who was murdered, and then ATK, which is apparently the group that the younger kids belong to. They teamed up. This is all alleged, by the way. They teamed up to get the location of Julio Foolio, which is 3 hours away from where they're from, Tampa, not Jacksonville. They found them. The police found videos of them following that car for hours. They tailed them to every location that they posted, every location that the girl sent. They tailed them. And the police have all that shit on camera down to when they finally found them they chased them to the Holiday Inn. Well, they followed them, trailed them to the Holiday Inn, and they had the whole shit broken down, and literally their phones are in sync to exactly what happened. Location to location, where it stopped at, where they waited, they camped out for him. Yo, bro. And just like that, man, five more lives are lost in the midst of this senseless ass bullshit.
And not only that, they used cameras from Cybertruck Teslas.
Oh my God.
They used some of the footage that they gathered of the shooting was from Teslas. Apparently the police can take footage of.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. They're using ATM machines and shit. It makes so much sense.
Yeah. So the 3 of the shooters, they literally have some of that footage was from
Cybertruck.
From a park. I don't know if it was a Cybertruck. It could have been a regular Tesla. Could have been but
technology, a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You get snapped by a Tesla, that got it.
Yeah, and
the police just get a warrant for your Tesla footage in a quick second.
You ain't
had nothing to do with this. Your car was just parked in that parking lot.
The footage of 2 of them getting arrested literally looks like a drama movie. It was pouring rain. It was like during a thunderstorm.
The SWAT coming out, and I mean, there's actually still one of them. One of them
is on the run.
Yeah, the oldest.
So 3 of them were arrested quickly. 2 of them were on the run. They caught one, and one's still
on the loose, right? It's still one on the loose, and they're all looking at capital murder, which if you don't know in Florida, that's punishable by death.
Yeah.
So chances are they're all gonna have to plead out. You know, I mean, all these things are alleged. We don't know they're innocent until proven guilty. But hey, them police been policing, and I'm telling you, man, if you are outside thinking you about to go kill some, drill some, rethink your plan. You might want to just either call the truce or call the police, gang, because it's over for this crime shit, bro. Ain't no crime being committed. It's funny, this shit is all on camera.
It's funny you say that. The chief of Jacksonville Police, he was talking about Young and Ace. He said, "Yeah, did you see that interview?"
I seen him say some slick shit like, "Ace, we're coming for you."
No, he literally said, well, you know, we understand what's going on, but you know, he can't. He literally, we got eyes on him at all times. He can't move around in Jacksonville at all without us knowing. So I don't know. Rico coming? I don't know. But he said we know where he is at all times, where they are at all times, because it's important to the safety of the community.
Yeah, so and it makes sense, bro. It really makes sense, and it's sad, man, because I just watched the Young and Ace interview on DJ Academic's podcast.
I've seen that
off the record.
Well, I seen some of the clips.
I watched the whole thing, you know, and it's sad, man, because like, like I said, I've been a fan of Young and Ace before I ever even knew he had that kind of beef. I didn't even know he was really like that. I just liked his music. You know, this was like 2017, 2018. Then I found out all this gangster shit was going on in real life behind the scenes. And I'm like, yo, it's fucked up, man. Because when you look at him, you hear his story, you don't really get that like super savage, like I want to kill everybody kind of kid, bro. Even after watching the interview, it's like, yo, that's not even the energy he give off. Where like Julio Foolio gave you demonic energy.
Yeah, he did.
Like he gave you, King Von gave you demonic ass energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nah, I think everybody should be dead. I want to kill people. Yeah, like, we smoke. Nah, that's not. Ace has never been that energy. You know, but I can't say that he's just been the victim the whole time because, you know, it's been sliding on both sides. But, like, for example, Ace, when they went through his situation and he got shot up and he took 8 bullets and survived and 3 of his friends got killed in the same car that he was in, he didn't make a diss song until Julio Foolio dissed him 2 years later. So, like, even then, Ace was like, "Yo, I'm cool. I'm not even trying to play that role." So it's kind of fucked up when you see it, but people paint him as such an evil character in this whole thing, and it's like, hey, bro didn't make a diss song until 2021 after he got dissed, and after his friends were getting consistently dissed, and it wasn't until that song really went viral he was like, I gotta say something now, because now we just look pussy. You know what I'm saying? Or now we're just being disrespected with no retaliation. That's crazy because they can't retaliate physically without going to jail or losing more soldiers. So it's like, we got to do something musically, and it's just, you know, it's a really sad situation, man. Because nowadays I feel like you can't make it in hip hop unless you start a beef, and then that shit turns into something real. Where hip hop, rap beef used to just be verbal. You know, we go on stage, we can say the meaning, we can say the you know, detrimental, demeaning shit about each other, but it's all
dap each other up.
It's all in the love of the sport, right? Now it's like, nah, we gotta die about this shit. Like, we gotta die about this shit or go to jail. And it's sad, bro, because we're growing up in this world where like crashing out is a thing that people use as a term to like it's something that people like, man, fuck that, I'm crashing out. Like it's like a game to people now, you know? It's like, nah, oh yeah, we're gonna go spin. No. I'm crashing out. I'm going to jail. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
And not only that, it's unfortunate because, you know, you got these big labels behind it that are pushing for this.
Yeah, bro.
They're pushing for the death and destruction of some of their artists or the controversy of some of their artists in order to make money.
It's crazy because I've been watching a lot of podcasts and a lot of label people that are in labels talk about how the labels didn't realize how much that was about to backfire, and now they're backing out of that. Where they're no longer wanting to sign drill rap. All that shit is done. Labels are like, we're good. It's too much of a risk. Motherfuckers is way too dangerous. You're signing these artists because they have a local buzz, but they can't perform in the next 4 states that they're from because all that shit's too risky. You know what I'm saying? Young and Ace can't do no shows in Jacksonville. And all these Chicago rappers, they can't. The biggest Chicago, they can't perform in Chicago unless it's like a giant festival.
And they got to spend all this money on security and all that.
Exactly. It's like, bruh, it's too expensive to even take care of these artists, you know. And then it's like, yeah, you had to make these songs big enough where they're transitioning to these states that are 5-10 states away because that's the only place that is safe enough for them to perform. You know what I'm saying? Look at Julio Foolio. He died 4 hours away from where he's from, 3.5 hours away. So it's like, oh, okay, this shit is real. Like, we got to leave this shit alone for real because the labels are realizing, like, nah, we can't go. And while we're talking about hip-hop and the destruction, man, it's really sad because I don't know if you heard about the PNB Rock situation.
Nah, inform me.
Please, oh man.
Please inform me. Please inform me.
For those if you're not familiar, PNB Rock was a slang rapper. He was murdered in Los Angeles a couple years back
at the Waffle House, sitting with his girl.
It was a sad story, but I'm sure you can look it up if you haven't. But PNB Rock was murdered by a 15-year-old, and his father was allegedly part of the conspiracy. I mean, the conspiracy to commit this murder, and it was an attempted robbery / murder, and so. The 15-year-old that was arrested in connection to this murder has been found to be incompetent to stand trial. They said he's mentally incompetent to stand trial, meaning that he can't even be tried. He definitely can't be tried as an adult. And long story short, it's looking like he's about to he's about to beat this case basically by incompetency being. They're saying that he pretty much he's insane. Like he's too young. They're gonna treat him as a true juvenile, and I mean, worst case scenario, he might get juvenile life, which in California, state of California now, it's 5 years. Where like in a lot of states, it's like 7 or up to you when you're 25. But in California, it's 5 years, which is something similar to what we saw with the Pop Smokes murders and how most of them are only going to do 5 years. This kid is looking at only doing 5 years, coming home at 20 years old, 21, and being a murderer on the street that in the hood, that's like
celebrity.
you're you made it.
You made it
in the hood. You 21 with a murder under your belt.
And you're the man. Yeah.
You're the man. And it's fucking sick to see this shit. Like, I mean, granted, I know I stood on it before saying like, yo, I don't think a 15-year-old should be tried as an adult. I really don't. But it's just like, damn, bro, the precedent we're setting and these things becoming such a big case and so famous, it's setting the tone where, I mean, it's always been a thing known, like, oh, you catch a body, while you're young enough, you can be all right. But, like, it's really becoming a thing now. Like, you kill a rapper, and it feels like, oh, you're going to get away with it. Don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. Like, which is something Chris Rock was making fun of in the 90s. Like, hey, you just want to kill somebody, just put a mixtape in their pocket. You get away with it.
Put a double tape in their pocket.
Right. And it's like, yo, bro, that shit is seen to be true, 25,
it's a rap killing.
25, 30 years later, it's the same sad story, bro.
My thing about that whole situation is that just goes to show how I didn't unfile the case or anything. I don't know see the kid. I don't know his story. But that just goes to show how we deem mental health in this country. Because if somebody who's mentally incompetent to stand trial, they're going to put him behind bars. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be behind bars, but what I'm saying is somebody, not even that situation in general, like other people who are mentally incompetent to stand trial, there needs to be some type of programs or something in order to help them out with their situation or be able to enter into society, but it just goes to show that, mentally incompetent, okay, just put them in jail for 5 years instead of 25 years.
Right.
Like that's gonna help them with their situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a very unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it's a lot of wild stuff going on. While we're speaking on homicides and hip hop, real quick, I definitely got to remember to mention. So, I don't know if you've been following along with the Keefe D situation. And his involvement in the murder of Tupac.
Oh, yo, yes.
So during during more investigation and talk with the police, he stated Diddy's name over 70 times in these interviews, and he's stating that Diddy had a lot more to do than people think with the murder of Tupac and Biggie. Now, amidst all these conversations and these interviews where Diddy's being mentioned, the relatives of Tupac Shakur have hired Alex Spiro and I forget the other attorney, but two very high-level attorneys. And they've been hired to look into the case. And apparently, basically, Tupac's estate is looking to get involved in order to seek some type of, not only just justice if Diddy truly is involved, but, there's some money coming behind that shit. If you was the motherfucker that's found responsible and you worth $1 billion plus, they coming for that check, gang. They coming for that check, respectfully.
Apparently,
and nothing will bring back, and nothing, of course, will bring back a life, especially somebody as iconic and as legendary as Tupac Shakur. But it's just like, bro, this shit is looking crazy for the diddler. Like, bro, what?
And apparently, it was $1 million for Tupac's head.
Allegedly.
None of that surprises me. None of that surprises me.
Yeah, you've been team fuck Diddy since day one.
None of that surprises me, bro. All this, like I said, when you look at a long timeline of somebody's life, and when you have people who are not connected in any way saying similar stuff about somebody over a long period of time,
years.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
crack like a duck, looks like a duck. Probably a duck. And on that note, though, what's been done in the dark will always come to the light.
Always.
We're going to see how this shit goes, man. But as of now, we got to part ways with you guys.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Listen, Senko, I appreciate all the information you brought. Because, for real, man, you always educate the people. You always educate me. I'm saying quiet, like, yep.
I try to, because it's easy to fall in line. It's easy to fall into what's being said without actually
Right.
looking at the digging deeper. So I try to dig deep about all situations and try to give people an objective perspective without any type of agenda. Because obviously, when you listen to the people with the agenda, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. So appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. And tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes,
Tune
sir.
in to the Free Gems podcast, and we are
We
gone.
out.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir.